You're staring down this massive exam deadline, panic is definitely setting in, and you're just drilling facts into your head over and over.
Just sheer panic.
Yeah, exactly. But what if I told you that the very act of sheer repetition under that kind of stress is biologically signaling your brain to drop the information, like right when you need it most?
It is wild to think about.
It really is. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are ripping into some advanced guides on academic study strategies. Our mission today is to pull out practical, high-impact tactics to actually help you survive that intense study crunch.
And it's a crucial shift in perspective,
Yeah.
When the pressure hits, our instinct is always to just brute force the material.
Right, we just push harder.
Exactly. But surviving demanding academic environments, well, it requires understanding how your brain actually encodes information when the clock is ticking.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The default response to that looming deadline is just raw panic cramming. Like we try rote learning, just mechanically repeating things.
The worst approach, really.
Yeah, it's like trying to memorize a phone book by reading it linearly from A to Z. You might, hold on to a couple of names for 10 minutes, but you have zero grasp of how the city is actually laid out.
And that is exactly why rote learning falls apart completely when you are under pressure. When you drill facts without context, you're relying entirely on short-term memory loops.
Which are pretty fragile.
Incredibly fragile. The second you walk into the exam hall and your stress spikes, cortisol floods your system. And those fragile memory loops, they just snap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even if you're a genius, raw intelligence cannot magically bypass the brain's biological stress response. It just doesn't work that way.
Wait, so if I'm incredibly short on time and repetition is essentially useless, what am I actually supposed to do?
Well, that's the thing.
Because the natural instinct when you're behind is to just, bury yourself in the books harder and read faster.
Which is a huge trap.
Yeah.
The materials we're looking at point to a much more strategic approach. Basically reverse engineering your study using past papers.
Okay, past papers.
Right. Don't just reread your notes. Use those past exams as a diagnostic tool. By analyzing them, you see exactly where the test pushes boundaries.
So you're not just reading blindly.
Exactly. It allows you to focus your limited hours purely on high-yield concepts, rather than just drowning in a sea of background noise.
But let me push back here on how we actually process that high-yield stuff. If I'm scrambling right before finals, the materials suggest using mind maps and mnemonics.
Yes, they do.
Honestly, drawing out elaborate mind maps feels like a massive waste of the very little time I have left.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I just be, mainlining the core information?
I totally get that. It feels counterintuitive. But mainlining isolated facts is exactly what causes that memory bottleneck we just talked about.
Oh, I see.
Success under pressure comes from linking information, not isolating it. A mind map works because it bypasses short-term memory. It taps directly into your brain's spatial memory.
So it's a completely different system.
Completely. Instead of forcing a linear list of facts through this narrow cognitive funnel, you're building a visual web.
Right, okay.
Evolutionarily speaking, your brain is vastly better at remembering where something is on a map than what number it is on a list.
Ah, I see. So I'm basically giving my brain multiple different pathways to retrieve the exact same piece of information.
Yes, exactly.
If one pathway gets blocked by exam panic, my brain just, takes an alternate route through the web.
Precisely. You are creating redundancy. And that's also why mnemonics are so incredibly effective under pressure.
Like the memory tricks.
Right. Think of the classic spelling rule, E is before E, except after C. That's not just a cute trick. It's a cognitive zipper.
A cognitive zipper, I like that.
Yeah, it compresses complex rules into a single, low-energy mental shortcut. When you combine spatial mapping with mnemonic compression, you turn passive panic into active mastery.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? If you want to survive the intense pressure of an academic crunch, ditch the mechanical repetition.
It is a biological dead end.
Truly, you need to map out the conceptual connections to leverage your spatial memory. Create those mnemonic shortcuts to compress data and relentlessly test your weak spots against past papers.
Because, let's be honest, academic study at a high level is ruthless. Many struggle. But the ones who survive to become highly qualified professionals, they are the ones who deliberately adapt their methods to outsmart their own panic.
Which leaves you with an interesting question as you face down your next looming deadline. Is the ultimate goal of an exam really just to see what random facts you can hold in your head for 2 hours?
Probably not.
Right. Or is the real test forcing you to evolve your brain? Like pushing you past simple phone book repetition into the kind of complex, interconnected problem solving you're actually going to need for the rest of your career?
That's the real challenge.
Definitely something to chew on before you dive back into your notes.